Welcome to all of you. Today we will discuss the another technique of machine learning and its implementation by using Python programming.
Now let us see the step-by-step demo to understand the random forest algorithm. So it is not actually the perfect demo. It is only to convey the idea behind how random forest algorithm works. So if you recall this random forest algorithm, it is using basically the concept of bagging, right? So bagging was basically this idea, right? We have to create the different subset of data from the main data set with replacement, right? So that idea we have discussed earlier. Now, what is the purpose? Why we are creating a different subset of data from the main data set? The reason behind that, since we have to give this data to the different tree, since it is a random forest, right? So we have to pass the different data to this tree. Since we are giving a different data to decision tree, hence decision trees are different basically from each other. Now, based on this, we take the majority vote out of this different outcomes, and that will be the final output of the random forest, right? So that is the idea which you have already learned, right? Now the concern come how to create these subsets from this main data sets, right? So there are different ways for that regard. One way is we can we can create this subset of data by using this row sampling, right? That is RS means it is standing for the row sampling, right? Another way is we can go with the feature sampling. That is another way through which we can create a different subset of data. One other way would be that we can go with the combined method, right? Means row and feature sampling both together, right? So by following any one of this technique, we can create the different subset of data, right? So let us start with the demo. Let us generate the data. So here basically we are going to have a 5 input and 1 output. So this is how actually our data basically look like. Now here the data which we have generated, it is having a dimension of 100 by 6, means it is going to have 100 rows and 6 column. The last column is nothing but the output value, right? Okay, so with this idea, now let us make 3 functions as we have discussed, right? One is for the row sampling, another one is for the feature sampling, and third function we are writing for the combined sampling. Okay, so let us begin with this row sampling, right? So here basically we are here what we are doing, this function will take 2 parameters as an input. This df is nothing but our data frame, and here we have to say how much percentage of data you want to keep in this data frame, right? So that value we take for as a parameter. Now same we did with the feature selection. Here again the data frame we are having. Now here the percentage means how many percentage of features you want to include in your data frame. That value actually we pass in this percentage, right? Now in combine we have to tell both this parameter. We want to make a data frame from the main data set, right? So this subset we want to create, but the selection method would be by using the row and column sampling both. So here we have to give the percentage of row and percentage of column which you want to include in your subset of data, right? So this is a method through which we can we can opt any one of this method for creating a different subset of data. Okay, now let us move with row sampling, right? So here basically if you recall, this random forest is nothing but collection of trees. So basically let us create 3 different tree in random forest. So now concern is, if we have to feed this decision tree via giving a data. So if you want to create a 3 different tree, means 3 different data subset we have to create, right? Now we are creating a 3 different data subset by using this row sampling, right? So as you have seen over here, this row sampling will take this data frame and the percentage. So here we have given this data frame and the percentage is 20%, right? So 20% of row it will take for creating this subset. So if you see, originally our data frame was having a 100 by 6, 100 rows and 6 column we were having. After doing this row sampling, the shape of this DF1 is becoming 20 by 6. The reason behind that is we have only chosen 20% of row. So out of 100, 20% is nothing but 20 rows only, right? Similarly, because this selection is with replacement, so similarly we are creating another subset by following the same sampling of rows. So this will give you the DF2. Similarly, we have created DF3. The reason behind that, we have to train 3 decision tree, right? That's why we have to create this 3 data frame for the feeding purpose to that given 3 trees, right? So now if you want to visualize the values which are coming into this DF1 subset, so you may see here we are going to have a 20 rows and 6 columns. So 6 column we are getting as it is, because here only this row sampling we are doing. So out of 100, this will select randomly 20 rows. Now important part here is they may have common rows, because it is with a replacement we are doing this selection, right? So randomly we are picking the rows from the 100 rows, right? 20 rows we have to chosen. Now because this concern here is this technique is with the with the replacement, right? So the chances maybe there that few rows over here may be the common rows, right? So that part you may check. Maybe here if you see this properly, you may, okay, so here probably there is no datas are repeating, there is no duplicacy is there, but there may be chance, right? There may be full chance, because this selection, this sampling we are doing with replacement. Okay, so this is how our data frame DF1 will look like. Similarly, you can check the DF2 and DF3. So basically this 3 data frame we have created, right? Now the idea is, now after creating this data subset, now we have to feed this to the decision tree, right? So this is our data frame 2, right? So here if you see, maybe there may be some kind of a repetition. It may not be the repetition, because as I told you, possibility is there, because with replacement procedure we have followed. Okay, so this is our DF3. This is our DF3. So this is how the selection of rows has happened. Now see here, in DF3, this 96 rows was called in 2 times, right? So which shows that this is with the replacement. The selection we are doing with the replacement, as we have discussed over here in our last example. So this kind of selection we are doing, right? So we are creating a subset with a replacement. So there is a chance that same row may be repeated into both the subset, right? So that process may be there, and the same value can be called. So both the things are possible. Okay, so with this idea, now let us move. Now we are going to be called the decision tree classifier, and we are going to be create 3 different objects. Now we have to pass this DF1, DF2 and DF3 data frame for the training purpose. So now after executing it, my this decision tree, this random forest has been trained, right? Now if you want to visualize all these 3 decision tree, that we can do by using this plot underscore tree method, right? So here I am plotting the first decision tree which we have obtained after this training purpose, after this training, right? So this is how my first tree will look like. So basically, if you recall, this decision tree is going to have 20 rows, right? So if you see here, the samples are coming as a 20, and this is how this procedure it was divided. So as a leaf, we are having a 20 rows at this side, and this subtree is going to have 8 rows, right? So this is our first decision tree. Similarly, if you want to visualize the second decision tree, so that we can plot by using the same method. Now this is how your decision tree will look like. Now this time, this side we are going to have a 11 sample, this side we are going to get a 9 sample. So this is our second decision tree. Similarly, you can see our third decision tree. Again, this is how our decision tree will look like. Okay, so this is the output of that. So after this, after visualization all this decision tree, now we have to check how this three different decision tree is going to be help us for predicting the new outcome, right? So that is that was a requirement, right? If you see this image, so basically we have created this tree, right? After that, we have to validate our data. We have to give some text value. We have to check which kind of output this three different tree will give, and based on the majority, the final output will be obtained, right? So what we are doing over here, with the help of this three decision tree, now I am passing one of the data, right? So now you can do one thing. Any data you can take from this data set, right? Let's say I am taking this one. So what you have to do, see why I am taking this one, so that we can validate it. So for this value, the output value is 4. Output value is 1. Let us copy it and let us give this value to our one of the decision tree, or maybe the all decision tree, and check out what value they are returning as outcome. So the first row I have taken from there. Just remember that that value corresponding to that, the value should be 1, right? So let us check it out. Is it working or not? What our model is predicting. So as per the decision tree 1, so this was our first decision tree. I am giving this value as a input to this. Let's see what value it will predict. Now see, as per our decision tree 1, this will give you the output as a 0. So actually it is wrong, right? Because if you recall, this one should be 1. Okay, so first decision tree is doing a wrong classification. Okay, let us give the same value to the second decision tree, right? The value which we have obtained, let me copy it from here. This is the value, right? Now the same value I am copying and pasting, I am giving it to the decision tree number 2. Now again let me run it. You may see again this will also giving the output as a 0. Okay, so let us pass the same value to the third decision tree. Now here it is coming as 1. Okay, so out of this 3, if you see the majority, so as per the majority, the output should be what? 0, because out of this 3 tree, 2s are saying 0, 1 is saying 1. So we have to go with the majority. So final output would be what? The majority voting. So 1 is saying 0, 1 is saying 0, another one is saying 0, the third one is saying 1. So majority should go with the 0. So final output will be 0, right? So that is the idea how this random sampling help us for creating a subsets, right? Now same subset creation we can do with the feature sampling. So if you recall, we are again having I have taken the same data where we are having 100 rows and 6 columns, right? So this data set we have created. Now you may see this value. Now this time, instead of row sampling, let us move with the feature sampling. So right now I am having a 6 feature, right? So I'm not going to be take the entire feature in one go. So I'm going to be create a number of subsets from out of this 6 features, right? So that is the idea. That is the idea how this subset which we used to create. Now here, if you see, I'm calling this function sample feature, and this time our data frame is df, and this time 50% of column only we have chosen. So out of 6, 50% is nothing but 3, right? So by that way, we are creating this df1. Similarly, we are creating df2 and df3. So 3 different subset we have created, right? So again, we have to follow the same procedure. So if you want to see the columns, what are the columns are coming in different frame which we have created. So this is a subset number 1, this is subset number 2, and this is subset number 3. So subset number 1 comprises column number 4 and 3, whereas subset number 2 is comprising column number 5 and column number 2, whereas subset number 3 is comprising column number 4 and column number 3, right? So if you want to visualize any one of the data frame, the subset which we have created, this is how it will look like. So one thing you have to observe over here, this feature selection is going to be include all the rows. So 100 rows we were having, all the 100 rows are there, which is included, right? Now only this will select the column, right? So out of 6 column, we have selected only 3 1, right? So this 2 feature and 1 output we are having. Okay, so that is the idea behind this feature selection. Now again we have to move further and we have to call this decision tree classifier, and we have to create different object, and now we pass this df1, df2, df3 to this data frame, and we have to train this this decision trees. So after this our decision tree has been trained. Okay, now then again let us visualize the tree which we have trained. So by using the same plot underscore tree method, we are plotting all the decision tree which we have created, CLF1, CLF2 and CLF3. See, this is how our decision tree will look like. Let me show you that one. So it is very it's very deep, right? Number of labels are very high over here. So this is a decision tree which has been created. Similarly, the second decision tree is basically this one, right? So this is our second decision tree based on our data. Similarly, this is our decision tree number 3, right? Now, once we have created the decision tree, again we have created a different the subset of data we are having with us. We are having a different decision tree which I have shown you. Now let us validate. Let us give some value and let us check which kind of output this 3 decision tree will give you. Again, we will take the majority voting, and that would be our final outcome. So same thing for the validation purpose. One of the row you may select from this data frame. Let's say I'm selecting this first one, right? So here I have given probably the second one. Let us see, because see here output is 1. So this first row I have given as an input. Let us give this value as an input over here. So you may see, if you pass this this data to this first decision tree, so it will predict 1. So actually it was 1, and decision tree is also giving you the output as a 1. So it is a correct prediction, right? Similarly, if you pass the same data to the decision tree number 2, it is predicting as a 0, right? So this is a misclassification. Again, I am passing the same data to with the decision tree number 3, and it is classifying the input into 1. So it is again a 2, 1 and 1, 0 we are getting as the outcome out from this three different trees. So of course the final call will go with the majority voting. So final value will be what? The 1 only, right? Now that was a way that we can follow for the feature selection. So this is this is how we can create a different subset by following this feature selection approach, right? The last one, the last method through which we can create a different subset is by using a combined sampling, right? So again, see, always remember this every time we are going with the replacement. Okay, so again here same data set I have taken, which I am taking from long back. So I have created this data set by executing this statement. Now see here, this time I am calling this combined sampling. Now see what combined sampling will do. It will take the data frame, and here we have to pass 2 value as a parameter. One is the row percentage and another one is a column percentage. So this 2 value we have to give as an input, right? With this data frame. Okay. So with this, now I am going to be create 3 different subset to so that we can feed this data to 3 different tree, and we will try to find out the corresponding decision tree, and then we will validate our data by passing some input, and we will check it out which kind of output our generated decision trees are giving, and again based on the majority the final value we will check. Okay, so this is my first subset which I am creating by using this combined sampling. Similarly, this is a second data frame. Here also the 50% of row sampling and 50% of column sampling we did. This percentage you can increase or decrease, it is up to your wish. Okay, accordingly we have to make a change, right? So here 50% data only we have taken. Okay, let's move on now. See which kind of column they took. So here you may see column 5, column 3 is coming into the subset number 1. In the subset number 2 we are having column number 5 and column number 3, the same value. But again rows would be different, right? Just remember, because 50% only rows are going to be picked. So this row values will be different. Here the third data frame is going to have a column number 1 and column number 3 with a different set of rows. Okay. So if you want to visualize the value, this is the outcome which you will get. See, there may be chance that many values will be repeated in this. So if you observe it, there may be chance that many values may be, because it is a with replacement. This selection we have done with replacement, right? So this is our DF3. Similarly, you can see the DF1 and DF2. Okay. Again, after creating this 3 different data frame, now it is a time to call the decision tree classifier, and we have to create 3 different objects, right, as we have did over here. After that we have to train it, right? After that we have to train our model. So after executing this one, we have created 3 different decision trees. Now let us plot and visualize the decision tree. So this is my first outcome. This is my first decision tree which we are getting, right? Similarly, if you visualize a second decision tree, then this is how it will look like. Again, here also number of labels are more, right? This is our third decision tree. This is our third decision tree. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have created 3 different trees, right? Now decision trees are having with us. What we have to do, the data set which we are having, now the same subset we will pass to this, this and this. We will find out the answer what the decision tree one is giving, what answer we are getting if we will give it to the decision 2, and similarly we will check the output of the decision 3. And then we will compare it. We will check the output and we will go with the majority, and that would be the final output. Okay, so with this idea, again I have taken one of the value. So take this value from this data frame only, so that it would be easy to understand how things are happening. So any one of the value you may take. Let me take this value. Now pass this value to one of the decision tree. That is my first decision tree. Now see, if I will pass this value, it is predicting it as a 1, and actually this value was 1 only. See, corresponding to this column 1 and column 3 value, the target was 1. As per my decision, first decision tree is also predicting it as a 1 only, right? Now let us check what decision tree will predict for the given input, right? Same value I have given as the input to second decision tree, and let's say it is predicting it as a 0. So it is a misclassification has happened over here, right? Now same value I will pass to my third decision tree, right? And if we execute it, it is saying 1. Now see, out of this 3 decision tree, 2 are saying 1, 1 is saying 0. It simply means we have to go with the majority, and the answer, the final answer would be 1. Now just remember, in decision tree we are going to have more than 3 decision tree, right? It may have a 50 or maybe 100. So by default it is a 50. You can also increase it. So number of decision tree you may increase. Here only for a demo purpose I have given you this idea how these selections used to be happen.
Thank you.